Now, okay, yeah. Thank you for that introduction. I am a beneficiary of the munificence of the Understanding America study, and I'm here to report on some of my results. And I want to begin with this political cartoon from the 1940s that hung on the wall of George Gallup. It was drawn by his friend Tom Carlisle at the Des Moines Register. And it shows Uncle Sam talking to a politician sitting on the fence about what the politician is going to do, I believe, about entering the war. And you can see in the little circle on the right, public opinion is ahead of the politicians. One of the basic tenets of a democratic system of government is that there's communication between the public and their elected leaders about policy preferences, satisfaction with existing policies, and statements of preferences for new policies. And Gallup and Ray in 1940 argued for the importance of public opinion polling because of the infrequent nature of elections in the United States and the opportunity to measure public opinion in between. So I have been working in the area of motivated reasoning for some time, which is a theoretical framework for understanding how people respond to new information. And it depicts two different themes or processes by which people interact with new information. One of them is with accuracy goals. They learn something new, they incorporate it into their current attitudes and beliefs, and they revise their attitudes and beliefs. The other is with directional goals, in which they're interested in preserving their current attitudes and beliefs, or inclined to preserve their current attitudes and beliefs. And so they can counter-argue or resist the new information. And I have been involved in a series of studies across the last several years that involve survey-based experiments. And I was able to conduct 2 experiments embedded in 2 waves of the UAS survey. What we do typically is we measure initially in the survey the respondent's own attitude or intended behavior. In this case, we used a question already in the survey about satisfaction with Social Security and Medicare. And in the second wave, we asked about their prospective vote in the 2024 election. Then, by random assignment, we show them a visual of a poll result that shows a majority of Americans agree or disagree with their opinion or their candidate choice. And then, following the visual stimulus, we asked 3 questions about how accurate, trustworthy, and credible they find this poll result, which we combine into a poll credibility index. It has a Cronbach's alpha of about 0.8, depends which survey. And the main hypothesis is that those who saw a poll result where a majority agreed with their opinion would find the poll more credible. That is, they would give it a higher score on the poll credibility index. So here is the results from the first experiment, where I'm showing the results from the question, satisfaction with Social Security and Medicare system, and then the y-axis is the poll credibility index. And you can see that for this question, which is different than most of the other policy questions that we've studied, I think it's because in the past we've asked about, do you prefer policy A or policy B? This question is about satisfaction with a particular current state of affairs. Among those who are satisfied, there's no effect of seeing a contrary poll result. there is an expected effect weak among those who are dissatisfied with Social Security and Medicare. No difference among those who say don't know. I'm also interested in the impact of polarization. There was no effect of polarization on the Social Security question, but here for the political question about who people intend to vote for. First of all, there is an effect on the poll credibility index score, depending upon who they're going to vote for. If the poll shows the other candidate ahead, they find the poll less credible. And the results are sharper or stronger among those who are more polarized, measuring this in a standard way and then dividing the sample in half by above and below the median score. So I return to this cartoon because in this research, we raised the question of the public's interpretation and acceptance of poll results in contemporary society, especially in one which is increasingly polarized. What does it mean for the expectation of elected leaders to be responsive or responsible to the public? And what is the role of polls in contemporary society? Thank you.